Hello everyone, happy Saturday. It's time for trivia, Saturday evening trivia with your host Doug at the Tualatin Public Library, here to bring you 3 more rounds of trivia as usual to help keep you warm during this chilly, rainy, blustery fall evening. So, as usual, 3 rounds, 8 questions each. I'm going to go ahead and read you all the questions and then encourage you to take as much time as you need to go back, re-listen, re-watch, whatever you need to do before I get right into the answers. So, round 1, and this is something near and dear to my heart. It's a round about coffee. So I've brewed up, so to speak, 8 coffee-related trivia questions for you all at home. Here we go. Number 1. Although there are dozens of coffee bean varietals, there are usually 2 that are talked about the most often. One is called Arabica, which tends to be a softer and mellower brew. And what is the name of the other most popular variety of coffee bean? And number 2, this large Indonesian island is famous for its coffee production. Large Indonesian island. And number 3, this espresso and foam beverage means little hoods in Italian, named after the Catholic friars whose outfits shared a color with this drink. Little hoods in Italian. Number 4, in 1773, this American colonial rebellion caused a shift in the caffeine consumption habits of the United States. A American colonial rebellion in 1773. Okay, number 5, this one is multiple choice. How many liters of water does a coffee plant need to absorb to produce enough beans for 1 cup of coffee? How much water does a coffee plant need to make a cup of coffee? 10 liters, 75 liters, or 140 liters? How much water for a cup of coffee? Okay, number 6. Starting in 1987, this coffee cafe juggernaut opened an average of 2 locations a day for the following 10 years until 1997. The statistics are probably still pretty similar, although maybe it's slowed down a bit. All right, number 7, another multiple choice, or I should say I need multiple answers question. What are the 4 ingredients in an Irish coffee? What's in an Irish coffee? There's 4 things. And number 8, this South American country produces 1/3 of the world's coffee. A South American country, 1/3 of the entire planet's coffee is produced there. Okay, so round 2 is which one doesn't fit. I'm going to give you a topic or a theme, and then I'm going to list 3 different things, and one of them does not fit. You'll see what I mean. Round 1 is states in the Dakota Access Pipeline route. North Dakota, Illinois, or Montana. Which one of those is not in the Dakota Access Pipeline? Number 2, members of the Chipmunks, the band. Franklin, Simon, Theodore. Which one is not in the Chipmunks? All right, number 3, actors who have won the Best Actor award. Jack Nicholson, Ben Affleck, Forrest Whitaker. Which one has not won? All right, number 4, European countries, that is, countries in Europe. Kosovo, Uzbekistan, Macedonia. Which one is not a European country? And number 5, Super Bowl halftime performers. These groups or people have performed at the Super Bowl halftime at one point, except for one of them. Your options are New Kids on the Block, Madonna, and Guns N' Roses. Which one has not performed at the Super Bowl halftime? Okay, number 6, paintings by Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night, At Eternity's Gate, and The Persistence of Memory. Which one of those is not a Vincent van Gogh painting? Okay, number 7, Nobel Prize winners in literature. Alice Munro, Bob Dylan, and Maya Angelou. Which one of those is not a Nobel Prize winner in literature? And number 8, we have Pixar characters. This is characters from Pixar animated films. Which one is not? Your options are Carl Fredricksen, Toothless, and Alfredo Linguini. Which one of those is not a Pixar character? Okay, round 3, last but not least, we have literature trivia. So various literature and book related stuff, as you may have guessed. Number 1, what significant law relating to literary and artistic works was first introduced in 1709? A significant law relating to literary and artistic works. Don't overthink it. It's pretty darn common and important. Number 2, "My dear, I don't give a damn" is a quote from which novel? Which novel? My dear, I don't give a damn. Number 3, what is the technical name for a 14-line poem in rhymed iambic pentameter? A 14-line poem in rhymed iambic pentameter. What is the technical name for such a work? Number 4, Mark David Chapman shot Beatles legend John Lennon in front of his Manhattan home and later gave this book to police as an explanation for why he did it. What book was it? All right, number 5, which psychological condition is named after a literary character who refused to grow up? A psychological condition named after a literary character who refused to grow up. Number 6, which Edgar Allan Poe work is considered the first detective story? Which Edgar Allan Poe work is considered the first detective story? All right, number 7, Robert Galbraith is the pseudonym for which famous author? Which famous author uses the pseudonym Robert Galbraith? Okay, and last but not least, number 8, what are the names of the 3 musketeers? I need all 3, the 3 musketeers. What are their names? Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. Maybe you want to go back, re-listen, re-watch. Just gonna, hang out. All right, let's do it. Coffee. The counterpoint to Arabica beans, Robusta, the stronger, richer cousin of the Arabica. I'm more of a Arabica man myself. They say the lighter roast, the lighter beans, have more caffeine. I don't know if that's true, but that's interesting. And large Indonesian island famous for its coffee production, Sumatra. And espresso and foam beverage meaning little hoods in Italian, cappuccino. I think ino means little, like bambino. And this American colonial rebellion caused a shift in the caffeine consumption habits of the United States. 1773, Boston Tea Party, or maybe in a broader scope, you can say the tea tax. People switched to coffee, which is much better than tea by far. We all know it. Let's just accept it and move on. Okay, number 5, how many liters of water does a coffee plant need to suck up before it can make enough beans to give you 1 cup of coffee? 10 liters, 75, or 140 liters? 140 liters of water just to make enough beans for a cup of coffee. That's crazy. Kind of makes me think how extravagant coffee is, but it's so delicious, unfortunately. Okay, number 6, this coffee cafe juggernaut opened 2 stores a day on average between 87 and 97. Starbucks, you guessed it. And 4 ingredients in an Irish coffee, they are coffee, duh, whiskey, sugar, and cream, as in whipped cream on top, delicious. And a South American country that produces 1/3 of the world's coffee, this is Brazil. 1/3, pretty crazy. Okay, which one doesn't fit in the Dakota Access Pipeline? It's Montana. North Dakota and Illinois are part of it. And the Chipmunks, the one that is not in the Chipmunks is Franklin. It's Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Okay, actors who have won Best Oscar, Jack Nicholson and Forrest Whitaker have. Ben Affleck has not. Okay, number 4, European countries. Uzbekistan is a Asian country. Kosovo, Macedonia are European countries. Although Kosovo, kind of vague. I think it's a recognized state. I'm not exactly sure, but it's in Europe. I know that much. Super Bowl halftime performers. New Kids on the Block and Madonna. Guns N' Roses. Not yet. And paintings by Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night, and At Eternity's Gate. Also known as the really sad painting of the old man wearing blue, sitting in a chair, holding his face in his hands. And The Persistence of Memory is Salvador Dali, also known as The Melting Clocks. And Nobel Prize winners in literature, Alice Munro and Bob Dylan. Maya Angelou has not won the Nobel Prize, kind of crazy. And Pixar characters, Carl Fredricksen from Up and Alfredo Linguini from Ratatouille. Toothless is not a Pixar character. DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon. And literary trivia, really important law, 1709, copyright. My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn is from Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell, 1936. And 14-line poem in rhyming iambic pentameter is a sonnet. And when Mark David Chapman was apprehended for shooting John Lennon, he gave police a copy of Catcher in the Rye and said, "This is my statement." I'm not really sure it clears things up, Mark, unfortunately. Psychological condition named after a literary character who refused to grow up, Peter Pan syndrome, and I'm very happy I finally have an excuse. Which Edgar Allan Poe work considered the first detective story? The Murders in the Rue Morgue. And Robert Galbraith, pseudonym of J.K. Rowling. And the Three Musketeers are Porthos, Athos, and Aramis. So thank you so much for coming and joining me on another trivia adventure to the heart of the Trivia Kingdom here on a lovely rainy Saturday evening. And as you know, I'll be back next week to bring you 3 more rounds. And in the meantime, stay happy, stay healthy, stay warm and dry, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.